Hello, my name is Joseph. I'm the founder of Our Next Arc. This video is a brief introduction into what Our Next Arc is and how I believe that we can come together to build a better way of life for us all. In the description of this video, you'll find a PDF containing the same content as the video if you'd like to have it to read or share. All that said, thank you for your time, and I hope to hear your serious and critical feedback soon. Without further ado, I'll get right into the first question. What is Our Next Arc? Our Next Arc is a union of workers, consumers, and businesses who recognize that basic human needs are basic human rights and that all people have the right to thrive. By basic human needs, we mean the essentials needed to thrive in life, such as access to healthcare, housing, sustenance, education, and a clean environment. By the right to thrive, we mean that all people have the right to basic human needs. ONA businesses operating within our ARC willfully adopt the ONA model, a pro-social business model that ensures workers a thriving wage capable of providing basic human needs. As an overarching organization, Our Next Arc works to promote needs as rights to all globally, regardless of affiliation with any organization, government, or set of beliefs. Our goals are definitely bold. We have bold plans, proven methods, a fearless team, and tremendous reach. Now we need you to join us as we build Our Next Arc. What is the ONA model? The ONA model is 5 business principles designed to ensure the right to thrive to workers. The first principle is 3 times salary range. All basic human needs are equal. All salaries are transparent and wages increase by the same percentage across all positions within our ARC. A 3 times salary range keeps wages fair and ensures that everyone is capable of providing basic human needs for themselves and their families with their wage. Principle 2, a $33 per hour minimum wage. This comes out to roughly $70,000 per year. I call this a thriving wage. This would adjust fairly for inflation. We all deserve a pay that can meet our basic human needs. With a minimum wage of $70,000, the potential maximum wage is $210,000 when we apply that 3 times salary range. Everyone can thrive on those wages. Now, I don't expect that all businesses within our ARC will be able to afford $33 per hour. Those that can't, that's okay. They just have to maintain that 3 times salary range. At the same time, another principle coming up will be the ONA Fund that will help to back up these businesses to get them to $33 per hour. The third principle is a $333,000 annual maximum wage. This also adjusts fairly for inflation. This is more than enough for one person to live on. This is a limit only to the position at the business within our ARC. We do not put limits on the individual person's right to earn unlimited money annually, only on the annual payout for each position within our ARC. By utilizing a maximum wage, we are ensuring that one person, group, or entity cannot earn disproportionate levels of income while others suffer with low wages. Workers have the right to work outside of our ARC or a second job within our ARC. Workers have the right to make over this $333,000 annual wage if they can legitimately do it by working enough hours at separate jobs. Business owners are also free to operate businesses under the ONA model or not under the ONA model. We'll take all the help that we can get. Principle 4, the ONA Fund. The ONA Fund is a collection of funds used to shore up businesses within our ARC. It's funded by donations, fundraiser events, and our ARC businesses paying 5% of their excess profits every quarter to the fund. Excess profits are defined as what is left after all employees and taxes are fully paid and all business needs are taken care of. The 5% will only come out of what is remaining. If a business still cannot pay that 5%, there's no penalty. We're here to help each other grow, not to penalize each other. A business who cannot pay would be a business first in line for help from the ONA Fund. Businesses that do not need help from the ONA Fund will contribute without receiving funds. Within ONA, those that are capable of supporting, do so for those that are in need of support because that is our highest honor. Businesses will receive funds based on their needs. The fund is only dispersed to help ONA businesses in need, to fund new ONA businesses, and to go to charities. No one is paid a salary or lives directly off of the ONA fund, and that includes me. Principle 5. We separate business and government. We work to ensure that basic human needs are basic human rights. We pay our taxes, not our politicians. Interactions between ONA and any government or corporate entity will always be transparent to the public. By paying taxes in full as businesses, we work to ensure our governments around the world have the resources they need to deliver needs as rights for all, and we will encourage them to do so. How is our ARC structured? We have 3 designations of business within our ARC. First, ONA founders, or ONAF. These businesses begin and come into existence as ONA from day one. This can be any kind of business. An example of an ONAF business would be Our Next Arc Fitness, my personal fitness business, and the Personal Development Center business forming under Our Next Arc right now. Second, Our Next Arc Partners, or ONAP. These businesses already exist and willingly adopt the ONA model. They are able to fully commit to and meet the ONA model standards. Any business or franchise currently in existence could become an ONA partner. Third, ONA Associates, or ONAA. These businesses already exist and adopt the ONA model, but cannot achieve the minimum wage. They stay within the 3 times salary range and actively work to increase their minimum wage to the ONA model standard with assistance from the ONA Fund. Each of these 3 business designations work together to support the ONA Fund. The ONA Fund is dispersed based on business need, not designation, within our ARC. What types of businesses can adopt the ONA model? Any business can operate under the ONA model. Any corporate franchise or chain that can be bought, any mom and pop store that can be started, absolutely anything can adopt the ONA model that I've described in this video so far. ONA tremendously benefits from many small businesses, independent programmers, app developers, video game developers, writers, journalists, artists, and musicians from all over the world coming on board Our Next Arc, operating their own businesses and working for themselves within our ARC and announcing their collaboration with us. By operating within our ARC, it's also easy for potential customers and employees to find businesses that they want to be involved with within our ARC. It's just as much of a choice to do nothing and let the world continue to be shaped by others who are driven solely by profit. How do businesses integrate the ONA model? Any business can choose to adopt the ONA model. Once they do, they can register to be added to the Our ARC website at ournextarc.com. We all have to be open with business information in order to prove that we are upholding our principles. Willful transparency by our business leadership is inherent, especially around business finances. What businesses currently operate within our ARC? Our Next Arc Fitness. This is my personal training business and martial arts business. There is a free online cookbook as well as an ebook titled Fit and Fueled, which gives you tons of information about how to stay in shape and eat right, as well as a free Excel sheet with a 3-day exercise program so you can keep track of your exercise routines and customize it for yourself. As well, there's also the Personal Development Center, which I mentioned earlier in this video, that's starting now. Why apply a maximum wage at all? To ensure that no single entity becomes excessively wealthy. As AI and automation increasingly displace the human workforce, it will become easier to consolidate tremendous wealth upwards and for the human workforce to be dismissed without recourse. There's nothing wrong with having tremendous wealth. There is a problem with wealth hoarding and systems being in place that allow for so many to suffer in poverty or to struggle through life working themselves to death because they cannot afford to stop working to properly care for themselves. We choose at Our Next Arc to operate better. Does Our Next Arc own or control our ARC businesses? Other than the ones that I personally start, no. We have no say in anything that a business within our ARC does beyond what the ONA model states. Even businesses that we help to get up and running, we want to get our hands out of it as soon as possible and hand it off to the true team that will own and operate it long term. How often does ONA hold regular meetings? We hold meetings every week. Typically it's on Saturdays from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern US time. This is on Discord and Zoom. I'm going to put the information for the Discord and Zoom here on the video, but we may change it. The best way to keep up with us and see if the meetings have moved is to follow us on Discord. What's the best way to communicate with Our Next Arc? Discord. You'll get the fastest and most direct interactions with the ONA team in our Discord server. Here's a link. Who created Our Next Arc? Joseph Abdallah. I put this last because I really think that the idea of Our Next Arc is much more important than me or anybody that I want or have currently on the team. We are all coming together to form something much bigger than all of us. All of my experiences in life from early on shaped what Our Next Arc is now, and it's very much an extension of my core beliefs and thoughts being put into action in a way that benefits as many people as possible. I don't think that I have all the answers or that I'm anyone special. I know how deeply flawed I am, just as I know all of you are as well. I also know we are all capable of doing much better for ourselves and the world at large than we are now if we unite on a common front to do so. While life doled out a tremendous pain my way very early on in life, as well as constantly throughout my life, as it does for so many of us, the circumstances and luck of my life have also led me to end up with some very interesting relationships and opportunities that have helped me define healing. This journey is what has become Our Next Arc and the Personal Development Center curriculum. This is a way of finding yourself in a place with others, a way of having the space and means to heal without any dogma. Thankfully, the ONA team now has numerous dedicated core members who are making steady progress to create good for those around us and for all as broadly as possible. Why attempt Our Next Arc? Because we have no obligation or reason to support systems that don't serve us. ONA businesses will set up structures to serve and support humanity, not the other way around. While many of us have suffered tremendous abuses at work, in our personal lives, and within the systems we trust to govern our lives, I'll briefly share 2 experiences of my own so that you can better understand why I want to create a system where our basic human needs and dignity come before profits. Fair trigger warning to those sensitive to stories about abuse. I will do my best to spare details. First, I was physically assaulted by a wealthy client at Bank of America in 2017 on 2 separate occasions over about a 2-week period. The first incident happened because the client didn't want to sign paperwork they legally had to sign in order for me to do what they wanted me to do. I had obscenities, blames, staplers, notebooks, sunglasses, and pens thrown at me as I sat there and did nothing, stunned at what the hell was happening. On the second incident, I hadn't even seen or looked at the client because they were with my manager at a desk with a divider between us. I was told, "Hold on, I'm almost done," by my manager as the client was standing up, cursing, and throwing objects at me from across the room. The manager just kept helping the client. Bank of America refused to take action against the client or the manager. They insisted I did something wrong, and of course the cameras were not working those days for some reason. I quit soon after for another job because of all the stress that was coming my way from corporate. Second, a client sexually assaulted me at work on my first day out of training at Orange Theory Fitness back in February 2022. I also witnessed the same client do this to 2 other people on the same day it happened to me, and the coaches didn't care. I complained multiple times and was told of the client, that's just how they are, and eventually was told there would be no investigation or action taken into the incident where I was groped. I made a formal complaint to HR about all of this, along with wage theft. This led to me being put on leave and fired. They admitted that these incidents happened, and they still fired me. Situations like what happened to me are bad for business. The problem wasn't my coworkers as individuals. This is a problem of profits coming before dignity and basic human needs. We all are coerced into this antisocial morality at work because we know that if we stand up for what is right and moral, that we risk losing our own livelihoods. It's foolish to expect the current system to suddenly have a change of heart or trajectory. We all have been through so much like this, and so much worse than I have. And even for me, this is just the tip of the iceberg of my experiences in life. I know I'm not alone in these experiences, or in my aims and my abilities with ONA. We all need to come together and choose to build a new way on a united front. Beyond me, it's plain to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, and lives that they are struggling to live, that profit reigns supreme over all other concerns for humanity or the planet. Extreme wealth hoarding and poverty are seen as normal. Why? Slaving away for hours a day, to the point that families barely have a chance to know each other anymore, is seen as normal. Why? All that time at work and wages are stagnant, bills are piling up, and our basic human needs are getting more expensive every day, and that is all seen as normal. The planet is being pilfered, polluted, suffocated, and destroyed, while the general public is being told that the problem is that we are each individually not recycling enough, or we are not being green enough, or not liberal or conservative enough, or not capitalist, socialist, or communist enough. Or maybe we need to send more prayers and thoughts. At the same time, we're told to blame all this mass destruction we see around us on the immigrants, the blacks, the whites, the Jews, the Muslims, and the Mexicans, and the Hindus too. But really, we know it's all the faults of the Chinese, the Arabs, the Russians, and the West. But also, it's your neighbors, your friends, your family, and the thoughts in your head. As technology further improves, there is an increasingly bold and apparent disregard for the rest of humanity and the planet as corporate profits soar. Why? And the only solution being offered to us to deal with the terror instilled within us is take this pill and eat this overpriced garbage and stay in your box and stare at your screen and don't question anything because nothing really matters, and don't take action because that will get you canceled or killed, and don't worry, you'll own nothing and be happy about it. Why? This, all that I have said now, is my why do I attempt our next arc. We will build our own way and leave behind the structures that believe the commodification of basic human needs are acceptable ways for any society to run. What organization owns or backs ONA? None. This is as grassroots as it gets. We seek to provide a world where we all can thrive. We ask and coerce no one for anything. What you have is yours. We are simply done doing business with entities who believe hoarding wealth, destroying lives and the planet for their own profit, or for any reason are acceptable actions. We won't fuel those businesses or lifestyles anymore. Join us as we build our next arc.